another episode of the Cheap Champ Podcast. It is I, your host, Malcolm Hall, and this is my first family member I have this season.
What's happening?
Give it up for the man of many voices, Mr. Carlos Coleman.
Yeah. What's up, cuz?
What's going on, man?
I'm good. How you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm blessed. Thank you for having me on.
Man, I appreciate it. I saw you on the gram. I saw you in the booth doing big things. I said, I got to get him in here.
Yes, Lord.
I said, man, where's he on Sony? Where's he at? He doing something big time.
Lounge Studio where I was at.
Okay.
Lounge Studio.
Right, because I know you came, a while ago you were getting started with the voiceover, but now it's rolling.
Yeah.
You've been rolling with that.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to kind of talk about that real quick because voiceover acting is a whole, they don't even really bring it up. Everybody wants to be on television, but when you hear these ads, that's a whole voice. You're acting with your voice.
Absolutely.
The radio, that's all it is.
Absolutely.
But you're unconscious of it. How'd you get into voiceover acting?
Voiceovers for me, Malcolm, man, started a long time ago, honestly. Just coming up, my mama tell me when I moved to LA, and she was like, it's not about happenstance that you moved to LA, you know what I'm saying? Because I would mimic my family, she had a daycare, I would make just my people laugh where I could, just mimicking different voices. So I would really say it started when I was a little boy, not understanding that I could really turn this into a career, you know what I mean? But fast forward to LA, my sister Mel, she put me on to a class that she had that was out in the valley, out in Sherman Oaks, and it was like a 4-hour class, 3-hour class, and they had different pods that you can go into. You had some where it was just for commercial acting, for auditioning, and then they had the voiceover section that you can go into. So I went into the class, and they just gave us different copy to read, and I got up in front of the class and I read, and so you had a voiceover casting agent that was in, I can't remember his name at the time, but when I read, he was just like, you got something, you know what I'm saying? And so when I got home, I told my wife, I was just like, man, I did a good job. And she was like, you the man of many voices. And so this was years before I ever really said I'm going to focus on voice acting.
So she sprinkled that sauce on you.
She already, you know how a good woman do you, baby.
She already know. Let me put that sauce on. You already know.
She see it before you see it sometimes. You know what I'm talking about? Sprinkle me, man. And so she put that moniker on me. And so fast forward, I'm really acting, not acting, auditioning, working on production. And I'm like, man, I need to find something that I can really focus on. We married now. I gotta be able to focus on something, got a plan. And so I sit down with her and I say, babe, I think I'm gonna really focus on this voiceover thing. Like, I'm really gonna focus in on that. And so I started taking classes at the Burbank Studios, at the Voice Caster Studios in Burbank. And at that time, I was looking for a group class, but it was only individual. So me and my teacher, we got in there, we started working it out. So I worked it out from the beginner stage on my own to the intermediate stage on my own. Then I got to the advanced stage, and we were just working it out through different copy, learning, and just really learning the game and how your voice inflection, your breath, your speed, your diction, being able to cheat not broke, you know what I mean? Going to different animation, all those things are so many different. And so locked in on that, man. And once I got done with that, I finally got my demo. And that was, I want to say about 2018, maybe, somewhere around that time, 2017, 2018. Got my demo done, and we was out the country. Me and wifey, we was on the vacation. And I got a call from Coleman management, and it was just like, we like your demo. We want to lock you in to get you, just come on with us as a hip pocket. And they started sending me auditions. And from that point, man, it's just been jumping.
You said something very important. Class.
Yeah.
You gotta go to class.
You gotta train it.
People see, you get on Instagram, you hear people making these voices with the animals, you think, I can just do that.
Yeah.
That's not like reading print and reading an ad. Like, you have to inflect these particular things.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people just think they can just do this stuff.
Yeah.
Like you say, you went to class.
Yeah.
How did you figure out what a good class to go? Because there's so many classes.
I think for me, I found one that fit my budget, first of all.
You're damn right, because these classes will break your budget.
That bad boy fit my budget, shot it. And so my budget was good, and I had heard about it. I did my research online, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go for it. And I went to one and I audited. You know what I mean? It's a big in auditing. So I audited a couple classes. I'm like, this ain't really my vibe. And I got a chance to audit that one, and that's why I tried to get into a bigger class, but they didn't have nothing for me. So I just had to go ahead and just lock in and load with the individual training. And so when I found it, man, the studio was dope. It was a quaint studio, a family style type run studio. And so it meshed well with me. And so when I went into the booth, man, it just felt like home. And so anybody, I feel like, honestly, I don't sound like I do voiceovers. I know y'all can't really hear me right now. But
he might be the voice of God. You just
hold on, but get what though? I can give it to you though. What's going on Cheap Not Broke? You feel me?
I don't sound like that.
You know what I'm saying? But with that, going into the booth, really practicing training, it's nuances. So being able to have an Instagram clip and be funny, that's a beautiful thing because you have a natural gifting. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if they want you to come in and read this 60-second commercial and you gotta hit it 60 seconds on the nose, you feel me? That's a whole nother ball game. You know what I'm saying? And so, but it's a beautiful thing because voiceovers vary. When you calling on the phone, hello, thank you for calling AT&T, that's a voiceover. So it's so many ways and so many avenues that you can really get into this game.
I found out, voiceover is regional.
Yeah.
You go to the South, you hear some crazy, come on down to the club right now, this guy at the 7-Eleven, you wouldn't even talk to me. I do voiceover.
Yeah.
Somebody got to talk like that on the radio. I'm like, what do he look like? And every place has regional voiceovers. The South has regional voiceover, and I didn't realize that till I went home, and I'm like, damn. You gotta have somebody from here to sound like that. And I know this from the used car commercial.
Yeah.
Good credit, no bad credit. Come on down. Yeah. Like, you gotta have somebody from here to get you to believe that.
Because it's familiar.
Yes.
Right? It's something that the voice is something that you hear first. You ain't seeing nobody. It's something that's familiar. It registers with you. The tone.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. All of that.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
It's like the club, man.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Come on down to the club right now. You know he got to sound like this. You know what I'm saying? We going down to the club right now. Last call for alcohol. Everybody come on down here one time for it. We down here in Memphis, Tennessee, North Memphis, South Memphis. You know what I'm saying? That's the sound, but that's a voiceover that's, if you know what you're doing and you can really bring that texture and bring that tone, then it's a beautiful thing. And so a lot of times, a lot of my auditions, and I just booked a car commercial. God is good.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you on that. But they have these different variations of what they're listening for. But a lot of times I'm like, you don't really know what you want to hear until you hear me. You feel me? And that's really how you got to feel about it because the authenticity and the texture of your voice is what's going to shine through regardless.
What's up, people? Thank you for tuning back into my channel. I got some new merch for you. I got hats, I got mugs, and I got the new Cheap Not Broke shirt with the patch on them. This stuff is official. I got it hot off the press, sewn on just for you. I got black, red, and white. Head over to cheapnotbroke.com and grab your merch. One thing about voiceover, you gotta go to a class and get some professional. Cause I tried to do my voiceover and I live on Crenshaw. And man, they be shooting and yelling. I can't never get it done. There's always somebody doing the dog barking. You gotta in order to do voiceover, you have to live somewhere where you can do it. You can't just live anywhere and do voiceover. Trust me, I know. You can't do it in your bathroom because you're never gonna flush the toilet. It's hard.
So look, with that, right? I do voiceovers in my closet at the crib. Say less. And I'm talking about booking commercials.
But you did get some things in the closet to make it. I'm in there with my clothes and shoes.
Now that's where I was gonna go with it, right?
Right.
So you can have a simple setup, right? You don't need a whole lot of money to get your game going. Some sound dampening equipment. If you got a small closet, if you go on Amazon, you can see these sound dampening curtains. They got panels, different walls. Some of them 20, 50, 30, 15. Or if you just get the whole egg crate and do that, you know what I'm saying? You just need to find you a dense space, a small space where you can control as much sound as you possibly can. You know what I'm saying? So that your voice not bouncing off the wall too much, where your voice not going too crazy, and they can get as much of a dry run of your voice as possible.
How, if a person want to know, like, well, everybody has a voice, but some people have and you don't know until you know. How would you, like you said, somebody told you to get into it. Could you listen, if you heard somebody's voice, you'd be like, hey, you should do voiceover,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I work with this brother right now. His name is Alan. I love his voice. And he just, hello. It's a slow drag. Hello, how are you? I can't even get it right now because my voice is hoarse. But
that means he's working.
When I hear him speak, when I hear him talk, the tone of his voice, the texture of his voice, you can really hear him in any kind of commercial that you want to hear him in. And I told him when I was in class with him, I'm like, man, you have a beautiful voice. So there are definitely voices that you hear, but at the same time, you can think of somebody like me, right? Listening to me right now, you wouldn't think that I could have some registers that are super high or super low. You dig what I'm saying? So the voice of Bart Simpson is voicing so many different things. You think about Regina King, right, with the Boondocks.
Man, you would never know.
Come on, gold. Like,
you would never know.
She voiced over gold in terms of being able to do Riley and Huey and just body those characters, you know what I'm saying, and those inflections. And you got two young men being voiced by a woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's such a beautiful thing. That's why voiceovers is so many places you can go with it, right? Especially in the world of entertainment. I can be whatever, whoever I want to be just by the texture and the sound of my voice.
You just brought up Regina King. She's an actor. You're an actor as well.
Yeah.
You think that helps push it along?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you have to embody everything that you're doing in that booth, right? Everything that I'm saying, every character that I'm portraying, whatever it is that I'm becoming in the booth, I have to be that. I have to see that, believe that, take parts of my life and give it to that. Just because you don't see my face, you can hear my pain, right? If I'm in the booth and I'm really authentically giving you that pain, or you can hear my joy, you can hear my laughter, you can hear my giddiness, you can hear all those different things through my voice. So being a trained actor, being someone that came up through theater, came up through television and film, it definitely helps being in the booth. It definitely helps a whole lot.
I tell you, some people who get on my nerve, them damn audiobook people, they are the most boring people.
They getting paid though.
Oh, they getting paid. I'm sure they are.
Them boy getting money.
But I have to listen to the sample. I may not like your voice, and I'm not going to listen to the book. I'm like, nah, this book can tell me how to get $1 million. I don't like your voice, and I can't get through this for 6 hours.
Some of it is dry when it comes to audiobooks. It's dry. And so you're looking for somebody to have a tone and a texture that can just keep you captivated with the book you're reading or listening to, rather. So I understand what you're saying wholeheartedly.
Because, I can imagine you got to get everything right. You can't mess up.
Yeah.
Because, I speak kind of fast. I'm from the South, so I'll have to do it over and over again. Yeah. And that's what would frustrate me with voiceover, having to do it 1,000 times, because you have to get it right.
You got to get it right, yeah.
Right, because, in acting, I can we do 1,000 takes, so we might find 6 takes. These words got to be right on voiceover. I don't care, Malcolm, you need to pronounce this right.
Yeah.
So it's not as much leeway.
But the beauty of that, if you're self-taping, like myself a lot, you don't have anyone kind of governing that, so you get a chance to really kind of work out your kinks, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you are directed, then that could be a different story. But audiobooks, man, is something that, for one, I definitely want to go into even more. But it's something that's an arduous task. You got to be ready to sit there for some hours.
I can imagine.
Yeah, for real.
And it's just a lot, and it's continuous.
Yeah.
So I know they're taking a break at some time, but the audiobook, they're not doing that.
You got to get it on. Yeah.
Before we go acting-wise, you had a big project recently.
Yeah.
You want to tell people about that project?
Oh, man, what's going on with it? Fuck with me, you know what I'm saying? They Clone Tyrone is what he's referring to. I was in the opening scene of They Clone Tyrone.
On Netflix.
On Netflix with Jamie Foxx, John Boyega, Tiana Parrish. You can see me in that. Man, that was God. That's all God. And I'm so grateful, so thankful to be and such authentic film from a first-time director, Joel Taylor, rather from Alabama. He from the South, so and him and his writing partner, man, they just had a beautiful time making this film, and so it's all God for me to be in that, man. I'm grateful.
I'm grateful. I'm also grateful for Carlos because my first project out here, he was in it. I was a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
I wrote a scene I didn't want to do. I wrote myself in some speedos, and I was like, I didn't want to do it. In the draw.
He had the draw, the dons.
And then I got in the mirror and didn't want to do it. So if it wasn't for Carlos, I wouldn't even shot my own project.
Yeah.
So man, I'm grateful for it, and that was God too, man. So and I had only been out here like 3 months.
Yeah.
So just to see where you're at now and where you came from, it's truly a blessing. I love to see it, and I just want to keep seeing moving forward.
Come on, man, we going up. You know what I mean? We cheap, not broke. You know what I'm saying? I love it. Malcolm, what I want to say to you, brother, is that you have grinded from the day you touched down to today. You know what I'm saying? And I see your vision. I see your love for people. I see how you have built this platform for people to come on and tell their stories and to speak to people in their own manner, in their own way. And man, you give it in such an authentic way. So it's not only just me here with you, I'm thankful for you. You know what I mean? As family, as friends, as brothers, as black men in the entertainment industry growing and grinding, it's a beautiful thing to see.
It is a beautiful thing to see.
Sure.
And it's not going to be a beautiful thing to see next time we play spades. Because they whooped us pretty bad.
Whooped that ass.
So we got to get our back. We got to get back.
That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, Sean. I'm from Atlanta, but anyway, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to lose on the spade table. It's not going to happen.
Where can they find you?
All right, check me out, man. Everywhere on socials, pretty much, at Losography on IG, LOSOGRAPHY, at Losography. Also on IG, you can find me and my coolin' wife, my beautiful wife, Guitar Coleman, at _Colemans, at _Coleman, where we keep it all the way cooling, where we keep it all the way live. Facebook, Carlos Coleman, and that's where you can find me at, man. Netflix, They Clone Tyrone. Find me right there. Tab Time, Season 1 and Season 2. You can find me on there, voicing my animated voices. What else going down? I got a car commercial coming out on radio spots now. I wonder, can I say that? I don't know. I don't know if I can say that just yet. But listen on the radio, you're going to hear my voice coming soon for the NBA. It's going to be cool.
And you can find me here next week.
Yes, Lord.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Peace and blessings.